what's up and welcome back to my channel. Now today I'm going to be giving a review for the slasher comedy film Freaky. Now this is from director Christopher Landon, who directed both Happy Death Day and Happy Death Day 2U. Now I must admit I was kind of surprised with this film, that I really enjoyed it much more than I did like the Happy Death Day films. I thought this was a pretty good slasher film that's like funny too as well, and it still is like a very kind of like serious type horror film, but it is like funny too as well, just like Happy Death Day films that he directed too as well. Now this film stars Vince Vaughn, Catherine Newton, Katie Fournier, and I think that's how you pronounce it, and other actors and actresses too as well. Now the film is about like this high school like girl who's actually getting bullied and constantly like tormented by her friend. Well, not I ain't gonna say friends, but actual like local like students that are in the high school. Even her teacher at certain times actually complains about her behavior and how she's like late to class and so on. So eventually one night she gets like caught with this so-called like legendary like serial killer known as the Blissfield Butcher, and he's an agent serial killer that has never been caught. It was like killing for like a long time. They actually believe that he's actually like a myth, that he doesn't really exist, but he really does exist. Somehow they get to this altercation where he's about to stab her, and their bodies get like switched. So he actually ends up in her actual like body, and then she actually ends up in his body. So it's kind of it's kind of weird. So the actual killer himself is known as Barney Calvin Garris, and he's known as the Blissfield Butcher, and he's played by Vince Vaughn. So that guy's soul is actually transported into Amelia. That's the actual protagonist of the film, known as Amelia, the young high school girl who's played by Catherine. So her soul gets switched into like his body, so she's actually stuck inside the killer body, and the killer is actually stuck inside her body. So it is kind of like funny and like weird, But I thought it was a pretty entertaining film. So the film itself is about her trying to actually get her body back that has been taken over by the killer, who's played by Vince Vaughn. So that's why it's so odd, But at the same time, you can see that he's trying to actually stay inside her body, and I don't want to get into it too much because it kind of spoiled the film. Now this film is like very like graphic, it's like very horrific, like gruesome, like gory and bloody and so on. I was kind of surprised that and the killer himself, like the Blissfield Butcher, he seems very similar to like Jason. You could tell, I think the director Christopher Landon was actually borrowing like a lot of elements from like the Friday the 13th franchise, because where he like stalks and kills like his victims is very similar to like Jason Voorhees. He like busts through doors. Even his mask is like very similar to like the hockey mask that Jason wears too. So I think that's kind of cool. He walks a lot too. He even runs too as well, but he does seem very similar to Jason Voorhees though. But overall, I thought this was a pretty entertaining film. It was funny. Like I said, it was much better than I thought. I don't want to get into too much because it kind of like spoiled it. And there are things that I felt that they kind of left unsaid, or like unsolved, But you can still tell at the same time this could be left open for like a sequel. They probably explain more about where certain things came from, why this and that was like this, I believe even the killer himself, like the Blissfield Butcher, you could tell they actually could probably do one really just focus on him before he did like the body swap, But I thought this film was very similar to like the Happy Death Day films. It has like this kind of like odd premise to it. It's like unusual, like supernatural, but you actually got to accept that, then it's okay to accept it, But I thought like the characters and stuff in the film, like I said, I don't want to get into it too much. I thought they were all entertaining, like her friends and so on. I'm just going to leave it at that. I don't want to touch on it too much, but certain things were kind of like funny and just odd about it, So in the end, Freaky, like I said, I'm gonna mind like a sequel to this film. I thought it was a pretty good film. I'm giving this a B-, and I would definitely recommend it for fans of this kind of like comedy slash like horror like genre. I would definitely recommend it for fans of that, especially if you're probably a fan of like the Happy Death Day films. I think you probably like this too as well. So I'm giving this a B-. Please leave a comment and subscribe to as well.